we have so many street children and street adults in Kampala because they have nowhere they can belong to, and they have no belonging.
They're rejected every single day.
So they feel abandoned. Of course, it all comes from the feeling of abandonment. You feel abandoned, isolated, not loved, not liked. So you realize that those moments, those feelings put people to a place of hopelessness, put people to a place of desperation. And out of desperation, anybody can do anything. And looking at the statistics that we have, we are seeing suicide on the rise. And if you check why, most times it is because of the pains of rejection.
That's true.
It is how people have failed to cope up well with rejection. That's why I chose to come up to be able to be a voice, because personally I've been there myself.
Okay.
You know, I've been through rejection myself from a family. The stories are in
the book.
You know, I've been there myself. When it comes to marriage, first of all, I don't know how many I might have told you no, especially ladies. But for me, I had to go through 8 heartbreaks before getting married.
Are you serious? 8?
And those 8, among the 8 are without those who fired me before I proposed, and also those who told me they are thinking about it, and until tomorrow there is no answer. And I'm grateful to that. But how many people just after one guy telling you a no, you end up your life?
Those are also many.
So that's why I'm like, no, you know what, I think I need to speak up. Even at work, I've been in a place where even fellow staff mobilizing the entire community to rise up against me. You know, because they didn't like me. Like I was telling you here that some people look at my name. What's your name? Where is this name from? You know, others can reject. So we can see that a lot of things are happening at places of work. A lot of things are happening in homes and families. A lot of things are happening in marriages. There is a lot of crime. There is a lot of divorce and separation. There is a lot of suicidal thoughts that are going through that right now, and a lot of negative impacts that will maybe be able to break. So that's why I'm like, no, I think if I can speak up, maybe my story can be an inspiration. If after 8 heartbreaks, I'm a married man, happily married now. If I'd maybe given up on the first date that didn't work. By the way, these 8 are not just those ones where you said, let my friends not know about it. These are relationships that family even knows about. You even introduce, you visit, you let people know, so and so is the one, and then before you know
you're
it,
rejected.
Boom, things come up.
You talk about turning your greatest dreams into reality. Is this? I don't know if we'll talk about you'll talk about it later on, but I was thinking why or how do you turn these dreams into reality after rejection? I was talking with Brenda here before, and she was saying, no, you revamp yourself. But when
that's why I want to talk about the revamping today.
but when you, Mr. Daniel, the truth is when you're in that moment, when you're in that place where you've proposed to a one Brenda said no, you're thinking, man, I invested my everything. I probably bought her a Range Rover or whatever, and you're thinking, why then should I move on? So is the revamping as easy as it seems, or it's? I want to think it's harder, but what's your experience like? Or
one thing I want to appreciate is when you see a path, that means somebody has passed through it. So it becomes easier for you to maneuver through. The revamping is a process. Okay. When I say turn your greatest dreams into reality, I mean every one of us, we have dreams. All of us. There are things that we wanted to become. There are things we wanted to be. But then even I'm sure at school, your teachers influenced your choices of who to become. Not based on your ability, but based on what they think you actually are. Okay, so there are dreams that everyone has, but then you got this person say, I want to do this. They tell you, no, you can't. It is impossible. You know, these 4 words are very critical words that I've been through many times.
No, impossible. Never.
Ha. You know?
Just ha.
You know? And I'm sure there are moments in your life where you really had the dreams of some things, but then somebody comes up and says, no, you can't. Because they doubt your ability of doing it. Even today, there are people who don't believe that I can actually be here today. Okay, because they doubted my ability while growing up.
You tell them, hey, I want to go on TV. They're like, ha.
How can you go?
Yeah, that coward, ha.
No.
Yeah.
And everyone out there has dreams. We have dreams. And my prayer is that every dream will come to pass.
Yeah.
Don't let the rejection, don't let the people's opinion about who you are influence the thinking of who you think you are.
Yeah.
Two things I want to say. You talked about that bit of revamping, how easy it is. It is a hard thing, but at the same time, it is easy.
Okay.
Now, you see, all along, it is about information. Because it's what you know. The truth you know is what sets you free.
Yeah.
I did know that a coin has 3 sides.
It has 3 sides.
I did know that. That a coin has 3 sides. I only knew that a coin had 2 sides.
Yeah.
And that is where the problem was in dealing with the rejections. Because if you look at a coin having 2 sides, then it is when you're looking at this side, you're only seeing the coat of arm. Okay? Here you're seeing the coat of arm.
Yeah.
You don't see the what?
You don't see the crested crane.
Yeah, exactly. But for you to be able to see both sides, to be able to appreciate, you need to be at the edge, which is the third side.
Which is the third side.
So getting on the edge will give you a better perspective of both sides.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to get married. Personally, I wanted to get married at the age of 25. Personally.
Yeah.
Because my thought was by 50 I should have a 25-year-old son or girl, so that I don't want to be in speech days when I'm 60.
When you're 60 and they are calling you for nursery things.
For nursery things.
Hey.
But I ended up wedding at the age of 33.
Oh, wow.
So it has been a process. But by the time I got to a place of saying, you know what, my dreams should come to pass, it was at the time when I had to go to the edge to be able to see both sides.
Yeah.
So that your perspective on rejection determines whether you will take the wrong choice or you will take the right choice.
Yeah.
I know rejection has impacted many of us to become who we are now. But rejection has also turned other people to become something else. They have become late now. Say, so and so passed on, committed suicide. Sadly, in our African context, when somebody commits suicide, we cane them before we bury them. But caning doesn't help. Caning a dead body doesn't help. But helping somebody who is about to commit suicide, I think, helps.
Yeah.
So that they're able to achieve their dreams. So for me, that was the thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Rejection. You brought very interesting illustrations here.
Yeah.
And I want to think that they are as if the impacts of rejection, what rejection eventually gets you to.
Yeah.
I want you to, maybe guys might not know, because sometimes I think it's you remember how in like primary we used to study about the, were they 8, 9 killer diseases or the silent diseases, something like that, the ones that would kill you slowly by slowly without you knowing that you're even sick. And I think rejection is one of those things.
Actually, for me, rejection has been a killer, a serial killer disease. And if you can see there on the cover of the book, I have it there.
Where?
Here.
This side. Rejection is killing more youth and adults and their dreams today more than any virus, even more than COVID.
Exactly.
Hey.
Let me give you a simple statistics. Last year alone, when COVID struck and we went into lockdown here in Uganda, between July to August, we had 4 people burn themselves. That is suicide. The number of people who committed suicide by then, between August last year, July to August last year, because during the time of COVID and the suicidal things that happened, the domestic violence that happened because of the abandonments and stuff, the cases were more than the people who died of COVID last year. If you check the police report and look at the statistics of people who died of COVID last year, COVID, the numbers were fewer.
Vis-a-vis the
people who died
because of suicide.
Of the effect of rejections, because of the effect of the abandonment, because of the pains of hopelessness. There were more. That's why I'm like, you know what, I think rejection is a serial killer more than any virus else. Because every day we go through it in our various homes. That explains why we have so many people in the streets, having nowhere to be, and a lot of things happening. So, looking at life, journey of life, we have, every one of us can remember this period of time.
Yeah, we were young.
When we were young, everything was okay. We were happy. You are born, you are innocent. Nothing happened.
Yes,
and everything is moving on well. But then what happens is, as this journey is moving, as this journey is on, you realize that before you know it, rejection strikes. You begin to feel the rejections. And before you know it, as time goes,
they start telling you no.
Rejection pushes you to decide. Instead of enjoying life to its fullness, you will be in this kind of prison.
Because of
there is no way. I have never seen a guy who has been rejected or fired and is happy and enjoying himself. I've never seen one. Instead, the pain locks you up. You get self-imprisoned. That even explains why right now there are so many people who have self-imprisoned themselves. They no longer have friends. From work, home. From home, back to work. They don't have people around them. They don't have social network. They don't trust people again. Why? They feel they will be the same. They will be hurt again. There are people who are in self-imprisonment, that they are not eating well, not because they don't have the money, but because they feel there is no appetite. Why should I eat? What for? What is the use? Now they have introduced they've opened themselves to sicknesses, ulcers, and any other disease that comes because of poor eating habits and stuff. Not only here, spiritually, people are under attacks because of the rejections, because of the things. Bondages are here. Before you know it, if a girl fired you because you are poor, chances are you will want to prove a point. You will want to borrow money and then buy a machine.
Show the girl
that you can show them
that you reject me.
How dare you? You just want to do that to show off. But at the end of the day, you borrow the money.
And then you're now struggling with a good debt.
You are struggling now with the debts. COVID has hit. People are in lockdown. The businesses are struggling.
Shut down.
And maybe even you have been fired from work. So you can see how that pressure is coming back on you because of the impact of rejection. And what also happens here is we get to a place of confusion. We don't know what next. And this is the worst part of being now. The road is blocked. There is a stumbling block. And here now you have these deadly animals. Okay? You have... avoiding any of this is really by the mercy of God. And this is a place of hopelessness. This is a state where if you're not very careful and you don't have a support system, this is where people commit suicide.
What do the deadly animals represent?
You have all you see is hopelessness. You just see that you are dead. Nothing can happen now here to you. Because where you thought you are going is no longer possible. But all here, all you are seeing is my life is over.
My life is over. All these things are happening.
If
the debts are coming in.
The debts are coming in. This is happening
the girl has still said
this
no.
This is happening to me. The girl has moved away. And you are stranded. All you are seeing is a snake is biting you. Instead of lion eating you up so that you're not buried. Oh, why? Let me at least die and I am buried. That even explains why most people I've seen most people who have committed suicide and they leave the suicide note. Their request is they should be buried well. Everyone wants to be buried well. So, but at the end of the day, this state is the worst to be in. And if you survive suicide here, then you end up either in any of these corners.
As if escape routes.
As an escape
As an
route.
escape,
That explains why we have so many in drugs now. That explains why we have serial womanizers. Even when they're very old, they don't respect the age anymore. Because they thought they will marry, but now they can't marry, so they now go for any young girl available in the streets. We have so many armed robbers now. Because work has failed, jobs are not there. So you feel I must survive.
Alcohol,
so you think,
drugs,
at the end of the day, but all these things lead only to one thing: death.
Okay.
They only lead to one thing: death.
Eish.
But I don't think that this is the best place for every one of us. I don't think so.
Okay.
This is not a very good place for all of us.
Yeah.
Because of the pains of the rejections we go through.
Yes.
But why am I here today? Hope is available. You see, the same place where you saw hopelessness is the same place which is here right now. Hope is available. Yeah. Help is available.
Yeah.
So killing yourself because of hopelessness doesn't help you. Just speaking up helps.
Yeah.
So that you can be helped.
So
help is available.
Helped.
Much as now we say, I don't trust people anymore.
Yeah.
I cannot. It is because of the mindset. I like what the young lady said. Yeah. What she said. Yeah. Revamping is the idea. Revamping comes when you get the right mind, when you get the right mindset.
Yeah.
And that is maybe something that we can discuss on, because there are so many ways of overcoming, there are so many ways of dealing, but we need to first of all understand, by the time we are dealing with this, what are we dealing with? What is the source of this rejection?
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? What is my contribution to it? I know there are those things that we contribute to, and then there are those things we don't contribute to. Okay? Yeah. For example, our contributions come in 3 ways. Number 1, our negative, bad behaviors. Bad behaviors. Bad character.
Yeah.
No one wants to associate with a bad character. So as long as you have a bad character, which I broke down what it means, definitely you will be rejected. Number 2, rebellion.
If you're a rebellious
there are people who are just naturally, they just want to be rebellious. Even if there is nothing to cause alarm for, they just want to be rebellious. That one also attracts rejection.
Okay.
Number 3, the negative personality traits. All of us, we have strengths and weaknesses. But then sometimes our weaknesses outshine our strengths. Okay, so if such things happen, then you will be able to know, is it my personality trait, is it this, is it that, then you deal with it.
Yeah.
Now there are things that you don't have any clue about, you have no issue on, but then it comes. Boom. Number 1, you didn't choose to be the way you are. Okay, and I'm sure you've heard of people who say, I will never marry a short girl. Being short, you didn't choose to be short or tall or thin or whatever. You didn't choose. Yeah. It is just your physical appearance. So your physical stature can attract a rejection. You didn't have anything to do with it, but it can come. Number 2, your tribe. The people who are very tribal, they read my name. This name is from where? What a name.
That we won't give you this job.
We won't give you. Tribal.
Yeah.
Even right now, I'm sure in your family you have been warned about some tribes. Never bring this kind of tribe here.
That's true.
Because of some events that happened during the 1900 Buganda Agreement.
Yeah.
We are in 2021. Years have passed, seasons have passed, over 100 years. But we'll still stick to those things of the 1900 Buganda Agreement time, the things of Stone Age period.
Yeah.
Even when things have shifted. So somebody can, which tribe? No, you are not marrying that tribe. Which tribe? You are not employing that kind of person. Which tribe? No.
Yeah.
Okay, tribe. Number 3, race. The skin color. One time I was told, we went to visit, then they told me, it's going to rain. I didn't understand. So
what did they mean?
When we left, they told me that what they were meaning is you are too dark as a cloud that brings rain. It was shining, So my reason came that I was too dark.
Oh, wow, thanks.
And this was a family of people who were light-skinned. So your color. J.J. Okocha said it that when he first went to Germany to play football. Yeah. He didn't know he was black until he went to Germany.
He realized he's
That's
black.
when everyone was talking about him being a black, being a monkey, being what, abusing him and making him feel out of place.
Yeah.
But then he had to use what I'm going to share. What can I do? So he used his skill of football.
Yeah.
And he dribbled those guys until they ate grass.
Ish.
And what happened? Right now, if you check in the German Bundesliga, J.J. Okocha from Nigeria has been installed as one of the famous footballers in Germany. He went from being a monkey.
He revamped himself.
He revamped himself and became somebody who is still talked about even up to now.
Yeah.
Okay, so a lot of things can happen there. So understand, it's the generational.
Yeah.
Is it a generational thing? That explains why you have heard of people who say, in our place we don't do this. In our place we don't marry. We just produce children. We don't build good houses. Whoever does that dies. Whoever does this does not live.
Yeah.
So there is that generational curse, I may call it.
Yeah.
Okay. So many sources where reasons can come, but then understanding it will help you deal with it properly.
All right, Daniel, we're going to go for a very, very, very short break, and when we come back, we'll be dealing with. So you talked about how we have in the book also. You talk about various aspects of our lives: spiritual, financial, physical, and mental, all these things, emotional. And we'll be dealing with those ones, just small, just telling us spiritual is the way to overcome it, and this is what it means and whatnot. But we're going to go for a very, very short break, and when we come back, we'll be continuing with Mr. Daniel Dritibi. Have I pronounced it well?
Yeah.
Dritibi, yes. Dratibi, actually. Yes, and we'll be dealing again and continuing the conversation on rejection. Do not go anywhere. This is Family TV.